Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Star Wars Saturday Night. I am Anthony. This is Collectors Entertainment Network. We are continuing with the sequel trilogy movie storybooks. But before we do that, I would just like to ask you to please subscribe, please comment, love to hear from you. Please like this video, and please share with everyone you think might like this. Okay, let's get into it with The Last Jedi, Episode 8. As I did with The Force Awakens last week, I'm going to take the dust jacket off because it's just easier to show you and go through them page by page with the dust jacket off. But there is the dust jacket. We will take that off. And we will see what it looks like underneath the dust jacket. There you go. Very cool. Alrighty. Here we go. The Last Jedi. Here is your page of legalese and your opening crawl. And there is where we start off from, right after the events of The Force Awakens, which, in my estimation, was mistake number one. I am not going to get into all my thoughts on this movie. I'm just showing you the storybook. It's the same as The Force Awakens in that sort of photorealistic, but yet definitely a painting or some sort of filter put over a photograph to make it look like a painting. And here you go. But yeah, after how much I loved The Force Awakens, I was somewhat disappointed with this movie, primarily because of this guy and how he was portrayed. But, you know, beautiful. It looked beautiful. The movie looked beautiful. But again, yeah. And there are other things. I mean, there's something that I could nitpick about any Star Wars movie. Well, maybe not the original trilogy. But I could definitely nitpick the prequels. And I could definitely nitpick all of these movies. There are things that I don't like about them. But with this one, when I don't like something so major as the way Luke was portrayed, it makes all the nitpickies worse. And the other thing is that I think that they may have even been able to get away with Luke as he was in the movie if he didn't die. If we could then see the Luke we always thought of in our heads in the next one, in the last one, in what would eventually be Rise of Skywalker, but Episode 9, if he didn't die in Episode 8, and then we could have seen him in Episode 9, maybe you could have told the story that you told in here. But there's so much else that not a huge fan of. But again, we're just looking at the storybook and seeing the beautiful... Yeah, okay. I can't even look at the storybook without being somewhat upset. But of course I have it, right? I bought it. I have the movie. When I went to see the movie, I own it on, multiple sets. So who's the more foolish? The fool or the fool who follows? This, I will give it this. I do like the, the Force Time? Is that what people call it? The Force Skype, whatever it is. I do like that. Having them be able to communicate through the Force across space and, not time, they're doing it in real time, but across space. That I like. So there's a positive. That was a great aspect of the movie that I really liked. Here is, what's the name of that planet again? Canto Bite, yeah. I think I've blocked it from my head. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure some of you out there love this movie. And here I am ragging on it. And one day I'll actually do a full review of all the movies. Although, I'm going to be honest, pretty much all the movies I love in some way or another. Obviously the original trilogy, they're the original trilogy, that's what I grew up in. But I love the prequels. I am not a prequel hater. I've loved them, and I'm not a newfound prequel appreciator. I've always loved them. Some more than others, but I've never had a problem with them. And I've always found them entertaining. And in fact, you know, for a long time, if I wanted to put on a Star Wars movie, I put on one of the prequels only because I had seen the original trilogy my entire life. So, you know, in the early 2000s, you know, and then for the following 10 years later, most of the time I watched a Star Wars movie, it was the prequels because they were still newer to me. There you go, the many rays. Well, I mean, in here, you know, I thought she was supposed to be Luke's kid, and they were cousins. And my whole thing was, Anakin, Vader had 2 kids, right? Luke and Leia. They each had a child, right? One represented Vader, and one represented Anakin. And that they would ultimately fight for the legacy of the Skywalker name. But of course, she's not a Skywalker by birth. She becomes one by name. And I don't have a problem with that. If she's not a Skywalker, but she had no family that she knew of, and to take the Skywalker name, I have no problem with the fact. In fact, at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, when that was coming, and you could kind of see it coming, I was very happy with that when it came. So I have no problem with her taking the name. Again, I actually like The Rise of Skywalker. I know a lot of people don't like that one, but I like that one a whole lot more than this one. And here I am just trying to go over the storybook with you, and I can't help telling you how I feel. I can't just be like... That was a cool scene. I will say, that was probably the best visual. It's not in here in this book, but when the lightsaber comes flying towards camera and then Rey's hand goes up and grabs it, that was a cool visual. I will. That's the thing. The movie looked beautiful. Lots of great visuals. Lots of iconic moments. No problem there. It was a top-rate production. It was just not a top-rate script. And, I mean, the acting was great. Mark Hamill, as much as I don't like the portrayal of Luke in the movie, I thought Mark Hamill's acting was wonderful. I thought all their acting was great. And BB-8 to the rescue. Well, that I like, because, I mean, you know, it was always R2 to the rescue, so. Next generation of droids. Gotta bring it. That's one thing I was, you know, Hux. He was not the comedy relief of the first one, and he became a complete joke and laughingstock of the second one. That's the thing. It's, in many ways, it's like this movie was written without any knowledge of the previous 7, I should say. Previous 7 movies before it. That was a touching scene, of course. Luke and Leia. But unfortunately, with Han getting killed in the first one, we never saw the original 3 all back together again. That was a major mistake, and that I put on Disney. Or Kathleen Kennedy, or JJ, who, again, I like The Force Awakens, but, you know, we either should have introduced Luke earlier in The Force Awakens, or not killed off Han quite yet. And I do like this aspect. I do like the fact that, like, he's fighting him, but he's not really there. I mean, it was cool when it was in the theaters. I was cool. You know, I thought it was an awesome show of force power, but then don't have him die. Have him go, okay, you know what? I'm back in this fight. Just that, not having Luke died would have saved some of the harsh reactions, because we could have then seen Luke. You know, everyone goes through a rough spot, so we see Luke go through the rough spot and come out the other side. Not come out the other side for like, 10 minutes, and then that's it, he's done. No. He's got to come out the other side and completely redeem the fact that he went away for a while. Speaking of Luke going away, and there she is. Rey, that is, with the lightsaber that's broken. And everyone else, of course. And then Broom Boy at the end. Fade to black. The back cover. So that is The Last Jedi Storybook. Next week, we will take a look at The Rise of Skywalker, which is completely different. It has no dust jacket, but you'll see that when we get there next week. Okay, until then, please like, please subscribe, please comment, and please share with all your fellow Star Wars fan friends. Okay, I guess that's about it for this week. Until next week, may the Force be with you, and have a good one.